Hi everyone, welcome to a quick overview for the kit of LCE E.G.O Dimensions würde ich sagen. He is a charge Rupture ID and in a sense kinda just a replacement of the W-Corp ID for sure. And he should overall be a decent upgrade. He does not have that much with passives compared to like IDs from this season. Doesn't mean he has to be bad. He has still a lot of damage percentage increases and stuff like that, and his rupture count with all things considered then should also be okay and everything. So I still think it's gonna be good. But yeah, it's gonna be shorter for sure. Gonna start off the Dimensional Castaway, which is mostly used as a builder spender for other things, but while he has it before getting hit, gain shield equal to stack percentage HP. Probably not the most important thing, but hey, I guess a bit more tankiness. Then we have Quadricolor Dimensions. That is more important thing to build stacks on. At 1 stack you gain offense level, at 2 stacks defense level, at 3 you gain more charge count from this unit's skills, which is actually very nice. And then also at 4 plus we deal extra damage depending on charge potency times X%. So yeah, already having like a percentage damage increase on this is good. This is capped, and I guess this gets removed after a turn even if it doesn't really state it here, since if we get more stacks than the cap, we will get the extra stacks next turn instead. But yeah, then to his passives. So if he is faster than the target, we deal speed difference times charge on self % damage and charge potency, and by spoilers, he can gain charge potency. And at turn end he gains charge potency and self divided by X haste next turn. So he will be speedy, which is a good and nice thing. And he can charge potency every time this unit consumes 10 cumulative charge count in this encounter, most likely. I don't think he will ever change that. When another ally skill hits an enemy at attack end of such skill, we will consume Dimensional Castaway to activate Dimensional Slice, which is a skill 1, against the target. Then we gain Quadricolor Dimensions, not above. What this basically means is probably 1 follow-up attack each turn, and also a reason to maybe use his defense a lot more. His support passive is when one ally with the fastest speed uses skill gains or consumes charge count, gain haste next turn. Don't think there's anything that really is relevant about it. Boop, boop, boop. Then let's look at his actual skills. So yeah, we have the Dimensional Slice. He gains final power for charge count on self, as Rupture and Dimensional Rift. Dimensional Rift doesn't get mentioned in this kit, but you might have seen it, for example, on his W-Corp ID. It just means for like every stack of Dimensional Rift, the enemy will just gain Rupture count next turn. And yeah, and then it falls off. Basically just Rupture count next turn. And he also consumes charge count to gain coin power. Then this coin just gains charge count, inflict rupture, and he does consume Dimensional Castaway to reuse this coin, which hopefully is just 1. I guess we'll see how it overall works out, but hey, most of the time, especially with Vampire, I assume, you will have basically 2 so that you can trigger the follow-up attack and then also we use the coin, so you have like a 2-coin follow-up attack. But yeah, sadly the thing on this thing is there is no direct rupture count or anything on this skill 1. Then we have skill 2, same conditionals. First coin we gain charge count and inflict rupture. Second coin we inflict rupture and inflict Dimensional Rift. And we deal slash damage equal to charge potency on self times X% of this coin's final damage. I guess something to mention is, yeah, everything here is slash, and we will deal extra slash damage with a lot of things. Then we have his whip space, his skill 3. If we are at enough charge count, we will use his skill 3 2 instead. if we are in a lower threshold at X to Y charge count, we just consume all the charge count and gain coin power for every X charge count consumed. And then also just final power for Rupture and Dimensional Rift on the target, and we will gain Dimensional Cast Away and Quadricolor Dimensions. This is the first way to gain Dimensional Cast Away. Probably more reliable way is then gonna be his defense. So yeah, we gain charge count on the first coin, inflict some Rupture, second one is charge count and Rupture, third coin is Rupture and Dimensional Rift, and extra slash damage again. It's kind of very similar to just the final coin of the second skill. And the empowered skill V2 is non-focused volley, so AoE that we cannot control. But otherwise it mostly stays the same. The only difference on the coins is that now we gain basically Quadricolor Dimensions on every hit, then some Rupture and extra slash damage. That is the same for all the 3 coins. Fourth coin then also inflicts Dimensional Rift and more slash damage to all targets, and if we have enough charge potency, we will reuse this coin. So very much an ID that just kinda likes being a longer fight, so we can get a charge potency up. And lastly, his defense. It is a dodge. On combat start, he gains charge barrier equal to charge potency on self, and he also gains Dimensional Cast Away and Quadricolor Dimensions. At X plus charge potency, he also gets an additional stack of the above effects. So basically, if this is a long fight, this should at least give you 2 Dimensional Castaways, which means every time you use the dodge, you will then in the turn use a follow-up attack for a skill 1 with 2 coins. At enough charge count, he will consume X minus charge count percentage HP to gain charge count. So basically also quick ramp up as for the cost of HP. And if we are at enough charge count, we consume up to Y surplus charge count to apply the following effects. We heal instead, and we gain haste next turn. Kinda interesting that it goes both ways, but I assume you kinda mostly would want it at least for normal encounters also quickly ramp up. But hey, having both options is kinda neat. And yeah, this is like already the whole kit. So overall the flow would be, we really want to stack up Dimensional Castaway and Quadricolor Dimensions. So early on, we might want to spam our defense more than a skill 1, especially since we get the use of a skill 1 as a follow-up tag anyways. This might be interesting to see how high this dodge really rolls. But yeah, we just ramp up, and then we get more charge count, which means more skill V2s in theory. But since it's so short, we can really talk a bit about other synergies we are having. Now, the most obvious synergy is the wavered passenger E.G.O. It's not as big as some other ID and E.G.O combinations, there's no direct mention or anything like that. But, you know, we do like spending charge count to maybe get charge potency more quickly. 5-dimensional rift is neat for its conditionals and stuff like that, and it is still like 5 rupture count, which is good. Then the big part I would say is just getting the passive active. That means +4 charge count every turn as long as we do not take damage. I guess in Mortal Limbus might be a bit harder to actually fulfill this conditional, so you need to make sure that you do not clash against mad coins, etc. And once we ramped up, we should be fast, so inflicting +1 rupture count 3 times per turn is also neat. Now, the only sad part is that this needs 3 sloth to fuel. If we look like at a charge team, W-Corp is sang at sloth. But we won't run him with the new ID. Somebody else that would have sloth that would fit into this team would be W-Corp done. It's probably still better if you have it to just run Queen of Hate with Dawn. She fits very well into this. And yeah, then it's starting to look more dire. I guess you could just go for any Rupture ID that has it or anything like that. Or she does have an W-Corp ID, so you can go Otis. You can go, and if you have, I'll go for Scissors. How about you? This would be, I guess, one way to generate ego resources, since, you know, this is a charge team, so we will have a lot of envy. And yeah, team-wise otherwise, I would at least say what really works well would be the New Year's Song, Queen of Hate with, and then also the Hohenheimer Quacker with ADD. We love Charge Rupture for one. And he also has the passive or like some extra offense level up that we will hit with those. Then it's small, but it's still nice. And yes, then otherwise, just any charge ID would still work well. You will have enemy resonances relatively easy with the man. Or you can just go for W-Corp team focus, especially for Mirror Dungeon. They also changed how one of the ego gifts works. Basically, if you have it to make the New Song count as a W-Corp ID for triggers for other ego gifts. So that is also neat synergy. And that's everything to be said about it. Thanks for watching and bye bye!